Hello, welcome back to 999. I have made a major breakthrough since the last time I recorded, which was, last night. So basically, I discovered, well, more so, I was basically told that there is actually a difference between novel and adventure mode that isn't just the format. Novel mode has, like, way more text, um, which, I don't get it. I don't get why that is, but I want to be reading as much as I can because the more context I get for everything, the better, in my humble opinion. And it's not like I can make these videos any slower. I'm already very slow when it comes to doing anything because I tend to yammer on a lot, as you're seeing now. But yeah, from now on, I will be playing in novel mode. The only gripe I have is why is it the text covering these portraits? Seems a bit odd to me, but if it works, it works.
Let's take a look.
They'd moved a few steps towards the door when Junpei heard the sound of metal on metal.
Huh?
They turned around. Seven was doing something to the door of the shower room.
What are you doing, Seven?
Well, I figure maybe we might want to come back here sometime. So, I stuck the broom in there to keep the door from shutting. Alright, let's go.
With that, he stood up and began walking down the hallway. He brushed past Junpei and kept going. After a moment, the rest of them followed him. Before long, they found themselves at the large iron door. They had only been there for a moment when June spoke up.
Jumpy, look!
He turned. There on the right side of the hallway was a piece of paper attached to the wall.
What's up?
What's that on the wall there?
Oh, I think it's
Junpei ran over and peeled it off.
a map of the ship's interior?
It says sea deck.
Oh yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to use this. Oh my gosh. Huge news. I don't even know. Map screen controls? What? Okay. I don't know what that means. Anyway, yeah, I was just learned all sorts of stuff. Get me out of here. Alright.
So it's the map for this floor then.
Yep, sounds about right.
We'll have time to study it later. Let's keep going for now.
Junpei folded the map and stuffed it into his pocket. Back at the door, the four of them lined up in front of it. Santa stepped forward. He grabbed hold of the door and then turned to look back at the rest of them.
Ready? I'm gonna open it.
They nodded. Santa nodded back and threw the door open. All four of them leapt through.
What the?
You're shitting me.
It took only a moment for them to realize where they were.
We're back.
They had been there only a short time ago. It was the large hospital room filled with countless beds. Okay, so this must be the blank door in this hospital room that I thought before was where the other group of people came out of, but upon reviewing that scene, I realized that I was completely misunderstanding everything. So this door that I was thinking they came out of, I'm presuming that was completely fake. Oh. Well, this is awkward. Lotus and Clover looked up as they entered. Ace was there as well, although he looked as though he had only just woken up.
Clover! Lotus! And Ace! I'm glad you're all okay.
They're gonna be so mad.
Lotus? What are you...
The moment they spotted Junpei, Lotus and Clover headed straight for him. Yeah, I expected as much. As she neared him, Lotus drew back her hand and slapped him, open-palmed, across the face.
How could you do this to us?
Honestly, I expected worse. I would have been, expecting maybe a stab in the gut, perhaps. Because I stabbed them in the back. Her face was furious. I don't blame her.
Yeah.
She grabbed Junpei by the collar and shook him violently. Clover didn't touch him, but the hate in her eyes was no less potent. It was Seven who stopped them.
Knock it off! We got bigger shit to worry about right now.
His deep voice echoed across the massive room. Lotus glared at Seven, but let Junpei go after one last vicious shake.
What?
Go have a look. I stuck the screwdriver in the door. That door over there, the one without a number.
Ooh, crap. I Does that mean Clover can go into that room and see what happened? I really, 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 really hope not. She's not doing so well.
As long as the screwdriver's there, it can't shut, so you can get in there. There's a shower room past there. I stuck a broom at the door there too. Anyway, go take a look.
Wait, then you're saying we can go in there without passing through the numbered door?
Yeah, it's about the size of it.
Wait, what the hell is in there?
You'll know when you see it.
You don't wanna. No, girl, don't go. Don't go.
Fine, let's go.
No, don't go. Otis and Clover looked at one another for a moment, then nodded and stepped through the door. No. By then, Ace had made his way to them, moving with the stiff, shuffling steps of someone who had only just woken from a lengthy slumber.
My goodness. I know I said I was sure you'd come back for me. I didn't think it would happen so soon, though.
Ace shook his head weakly.
Should I go as well?
Yeah.
Seven nodded.
Very well.
Ace followed Lotus and Clover with a stiff, tired gait. Oh, these poor, poor people. I'm so sorry. I don't want them to have to see that. Oh, hold on. My cat's... Girl, what are you doing, sweetie? Okay, I think she's fine. Oops, I didn't read that yet. The squeal of tortured metal made Junpei's teeth curl. It sounded like the noise a ghost would make. No matter how many times he heard it, he never got used to it. Every time, it put him on edge. It didn't help that there was a girl nearby who looked far more like a ghost than a living human should. Yeah, I was afraid of this. It was Clover. She sat on the edge of the bed, her head drooping listlessly onto her chest. Her eyes were blank and stared across the room at nothing. Her breathing was slow and mechanical. Aside from the rise and fall of her chest, she didn't move. Junpei felt as if even a nudge might cause her to shatter into 1,000 pieces.
Snake was probably murdered.
Why did I have to? Why? Why did I put on the more descriptive text at the, like, really depressing part? At least I didn't put it on before the body was discovered. I don't think I would want to read a description of it.
Chances are he was killed the same way the Ninth Man was.
Seven lowered his voice, likely in an effort to keep Clover from hearing what he had to say. There were 4 other people in the room with Junpei and Seven. Ace, Santa, June, and Lotus. Seven looked at each one of them in turn and continued.
It's pretty straightforward. Not that hard to figure out how they did it. First, the killers got Snake to authenticate on the red to open door 3. Then they shoved him into it. Alone.
Why would they do that? I don't understand.
And waited 9 seconds for the door to shut. Once that door shut, it was all over for Snake. But he didn't give up. He probably knew it wouldn't do him any good, but he probably ran into the shower room looking for the dead. It was a small chance, but it wasn't like he had anything to lose. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
It's awful. That's just horrible.
The detonator is only deactivated if everybody who authenticated when they went in uses the dead. Snake was the only one who went through the door, and then 81 seconds after he was shoved in, that happened.
It's terrible.
I see. So that's what you meant by killers, huh? You need at least 3 people to open one of the numbered doors, including Snake. It wouldn't open for Snake and a single killer.
Yeah. That means we're looking at multiple perps here.
Junpei crossed his arms and grunted.
Well, just in case, I want to make sure. Let's say you're right. When do you think Snake was killed?
When we all split up to look for the parts for the Reds, I think.
Let me think. I'm trying to think of what numbers would make a digital root of 3. I will quickly be doing that. I have my notebook here, so I guess I'm going to do some math, and I will let you know what my findings are. Okay, so I quickly wrote some stuff in my notebook to try and figure this out. If it was only 2 people, you would need, I believe, 12? So that minus 2, which is Snake's number. There are a few different combinations. The only ones that make sense are 6 and 4, and 7 and 3. I don't like those odds. 6 and 4? Do you really think June and Clover killed Snake? I don't think so. 7 and 3, maybe? But I don't see why 7 would start talking about this if he was part of it. Another option is that it would be 21, and that's a bit more complicated. If that would be more than 2 people. That would mean there's like a whole group effort conspiring. That would be a whole bunch of different combos. I mean, it probably isn't that many combos, but I actually just don't want to do more math right now. Doing, whatever I just did was enough for me. But yeah, I'm not happy about that. If you're curious, the other combinations for, that would be, for 2 plus 10, it would be either 8 and 2, which would require 2 of Snake, or, 5 plus 5, which means 2 of Junpei. Or, this is a bit crazy wacky, but actually, if the 9th man is somehow still alive, by some miracle, if him and Ace teamed up, that's also a possibility. But this is only if this theory that 7 is sharing is correct, and only if there are 2 people involved. If there's more than 2, it gets a little bit messy. Or, it might not have had to be those people at all. It might have been a different group of people who, unlocked the door, and then they shoved in Snake, who was unrelated to it. No, I don't think that's possible. I think it would only activate the, detonator if you scanned your bracelet thing. Or your hand, I mean. Yeah, I don't think... It's a lot to think about. Whew. Ooh boy.
Right after that was when we noticed he was gone.
Then that means none of us have alibis. We were all off searching the rooms we'd been assigned, looking for those parts.
Yeah, that means anybody could be a killer.
Yeah, even you. Hate to say it.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
June seems shocked.
How can you say that so casually? You're implying that one of us is a killer.
Well, not just one of us. If I'm right, then at least 2 of us are murderers.
Hold on, let me do something again real quick. Hold on. Okay, so I was just double checking something, real quick with the group that we entered the number 3 room with. Just making sure it was indeed 21 total, aka add that to get 3. I just wanted to make sure, you know, I'm still thinking about the possibility of more than 2 people, which, like, that's awful. Like, that many people teaming up to kill one guy? Like, come on.
Why don't you calm down a bit, 7? What are you going to gain by being so suspicious? Once, you know?
Sorry if there was a small cut. I accidentally pressed the pause recording button. I do that a lot, and, yeah, my bad.
What, 0 wants?
Exactly. This game was set up by Zero, wasn't it? Any game has a winner and loser. Whoever makes it through door 9 is a winner, and those who don't are the losers. Zero is trying to make us fight against one another for that victory.
Then you're saying that Zero is trying to split us up by making us fight each other?
Yes. That is why we can't let ourselves fall prey to suspicion. We have to trust one another and form a strong bond of friendship.
I agree with this.
Otherwise, we'll end up ensnared by Zero's manipulations.
Then does that mean that the person who killed Snake...
Yes. Almost certainly Zero himself.
That would be interesting, but... Yeah, I feel like overall Zero has been very hands-off of this whole thing. Outside of, like, one small announcement and maybe that little letter, and the actual getting us here, he hasn't really been involved. Oh, hold on. Okay, my cat was doing cat behaviors. I completely lost my train of thought. I think I was just talking about how, yeah, the mastermind of this whole thing has been not very involved, and it seems unlikely that he would intervene specifically to take out one of the participants. That just seems strange to me.
If there's anyone we should doubt, it should be Zero. He masterminded this game and kidnapped all of us. Doesn't it seem reasonable that he would have killed Snake as well?
Good question.
Junpei hadn't really considered that.
If Zero killed Snake, then Zero is on the ship with us.
Junpei. Was Zero still on the ship with them? That's an interesting thought. Let me consider that. It's difficult. I'm trying to think of everything I know about this guy so far. Just that we got some sort of note. Snake got a braille note as well. And I mean, none of that technically requires him to be still on the ship. But hold on, let me read this back. None of the stuff that this guy's done so far, I feel like it doesn't like need him to be on here or even monitoring what's going on to any extent. So either I feel like one of two options is possible. Either Zero is like somehow away from everything, completely uninvolved, which I feel like that wouldn't be as compelling of a story, so I'm not really convinced in that. Or someone on the ship is actually Zero and is masquerading as another participant. I can't be sure though. Like, I have suspicions, but I can't be sure, so I'm gonna choose that I'm not sure. I wasn't sure.
Something's still strange.
What was that?
Well, I'm just wondering about one thing.
And what's that?
How can you be so sure that Zero's on this ship?
Ace's eyebrow shot up.
Really, Junpei? I confess I'm a little disappointed. Usually you're rather sharp.
If I made a mistake, explain it to me, because, you know, I'm open to hearing ideas. I don't know.
Isn't it obvious?
Wait, it is?
This ship.
Huh?
Zero said, "this ship," several times when he addressed us.
I mean, that doesn't mean anything in particular, I don't think. But I will hear you out. Continue. Well, that could not be... It doesn't have to be a literal thing. Like, it doesn't mean as I am the captain. I am the actual captain driving this ship right in this current moment of time. Like, I doubt this guy's name is actually Zero either, but, you know. Yeah, like, am I crazy for thinking that doesn't, like, actually matter? Like, that phrasing doesn't matter? Because this could, like, just be a pre-recorded message. It doesn't mean anything. Oh, crap. That is true, though, maybe. Unless that was, like, somehow planned in advance? But otherwise, yeah, I don't see how he would know that.
If he weren't here, he wouldn't say "this ship," would he?
I mean, maybe.
He'd be saying something like, "that ship," or "the ship."
That's not conclusive, though.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I mean, I guess, if that's what we're going with. I don't want to, Ace's explanation made perfect sense. I don't know. I'm not buying. But, I'm not gonna argue, because Ace is, from what I've seen of him, he's generally a pretty smart, put-together guy. So I do trust him. Probably more than anyone else on this boat, to be honest. I'm going to be really upset if he's bad. So he was left with a question, and it was one of no small
If
importance.
Zero's on the ship, where is he?
Suddenly, everyone went very quiet. The silence was cold and clammy, and Junpei could feel it crawling across his back and around his throat. Again, he heard the ghosting moaning noise, and moments later, a person who looked more ghost than human appeared. It was Clover. She looked at the floor as she spoke, and her voice was a cold monotone.
I think Zero is one of us.
Okay, then this continues my point. With the ship thing. Bruh. Never mind. I'm not gonna keep bragging on it. If this is what the game is telling me is right, you know what? I'm just gonna believe it for now, until I have evidence otherwise. What was that sound effect? Every human body in the room froze. The only sound was the muffled rustling of breath. Eyes darted from face to face. One of those faces was the face of their jailer. But who? Was he one of them? Well, that's possible. I mean, you know what, I need to check something. Oh crap, I didn't know. Okay. No, I can't see the flowchart right now. I don't know if this decision is important. This is only 2 options though, so... I really don't want to distrust anyone though. Like, I know I've had my moments of disagreeing with others, but... Crap. I mean, I have to say that it is possible.
Well, that's possible.
Huh?
Like Clover said, Zero might be one of us.
Yeah, and that whole thing earlier with, find the connections to other people and whoever's left is, you know, suspicious or whatever. That was, like, way early on, though. I don't even know if this is, like, still the correct context. I don't even remember what that conversation was about. It's been so long ago, I say. As it's, like, only been maybe a week ago.
What are you saying, Jumpy? Didn't you hear what Ace said?
Exactly. I said we shouldn't suspect one another for no reason.
Yeah, like, I also feel that way, but if it's a possibility, we need to be on alert. I think the smart thing to do in this situation is to never leave any one person alone. Like, I feel like that's obvious. And clearly if someone did kill Snake, he wasn't alone in that moment. But, I also think that means rotating, like, the groups a lot. Because then it'll help to, like, narrow things down, I feel. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to think of this logically when... It's hard to use logic in a time like this. I'm still just flabbergasted by that, by the ship thing. That just feels so, like, weak of an argument to me. Maybe, am I crazy for that? I feel like I'm insane going on and on about that. So I'm gonna stop now. I think I've already said that like 3 times, but for real now, I'm going to stop complaining about that.
No reason. I've got a great reason.
And what's that?
The bracelets.
He held out his left arm.
Why are the bombs in our bodies connected to the bracelets? You're all thinking Zero's hiding somewhere watching us, right? If he's doing that, then he could just detonate the bombs by remote control if someone did something they weren't supposed to. It would be a lot more precise and a lot easier. But if that's the case, then why is the bomb set off by the detonator in the
Oops, I cut that off. I'm sorry.
You got a point.
I'm not done. Try applying the same ideas to the Nonary game. All of the puzzles here run all by themselves. In other words, Zero doesn't have to be controlling them for the game to move forward. Why's that? Why would Zero bother to do something like that?
Junpei let the question hang in the air and looked at the others. It was Santa who answered.
So let's say you and Clover are right. Zero's one of us. If that's the case, then it'd be really hard for him to keep track of all of us or control anything remotely. That's why all the puzzles run by themselves. That's what you're getting at, right?
Yeah.
Junpei nodded.
7, when we were talking earlier, you said any one of us could be Snake's killer, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Alright then. I've got a question for you, Ace. You said something like Zero must be the one who killed Snake, right?
Yes, something like that. I can't think of any other explanation.
So what do we get if we combine those?
Oh, it's like basic math again. You know, my worst enemy.
They fit together pretty well, I think. Something like this.
Wow, this is like using logic in the investigation schemes.
Whoever killed Snake is Zero. Hence, Zero is one of us.
Yeah, literally. Why is this math? That's crazy.
7 and Ace's theories aren't mutually exclusive. They actually complement each other pretty well.
Okay, sorry for suddenly doing this, but... Okay. Oops. Yeah, it looks like I'm stuck on this path no matter what I do. So I'm just going to lean back and enjoy the ride. I have a really bad feeling that I made some people seriously angry. And they're gonna come for me.
At least they do if Zero is one of us.
No one spoke. Their faces were grim, but Junpei wasn't sure if they believed him or not. Finally, Lotus spoke up.
What were his motives?
His motives?
Yes, isn't that pretty important? Why would Zero want to hide as one of us?
Oh, well, that's because...
Junpei choked. He hadn't thought of that, and he had to be honest with himself. He had no idea.
I don't know.
Lotus sighed.
So much for making a persuasive argument, Junpei.
In other words, you only had circumstantial evidence.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna talk about it.
I don't really think that's enough to go on, you know?
Ah,
Junpei was painfully aware of their eyes on him, and their disapproval. He tried to find something else, anything else to look at. Then, in that horrible silence... "3 hours remaining. They heard a bell begin to ring. It was the clock at the central staircase.
It's 3 in the morning.
That means we have 3 hours left.
Then we need to move now. Seven, Clover, Junpei, I know how you feel, but you do understand that right now it's important we trust one another, don't you?
you're right, but
Junpei couldn't bring himself to respond. He swallowed the words he wanted to say and sighed. Seven and Clover remained similarly silent. Their eyes were looking at something somewhere else, very far away.
We must go. We have very little time left.
Ace's words put their feet to moving. They all knew where they were going.
our next destination is Mercury. Here we go.
They stood in front of the elevators next to the stairs that led to the casino and the kitchen. Between the two elevators was a card reader with the Mercury symbol engraved on it. Junpei stood in front of it with the Mercury key card.
Oh, that's the...
Yeah, I found it in the shower room.
Oh, I see. It's got the Mercury symbol.
He took a deep breath and slid the card through the reader. It made a small beep and the lights on the reader blinked to life.
Now we can go.
7 people, including Junpei, climbed onto the elevator.
Looks like there's only 2 floor buttons working.
C and bottom.
Sorry. The rest were destroyed or did nothing when pushed.
Time to head down then.
Junpei hit the bottom button. The door closed. Slowly, they began to move downward. Sometime later, all 7 of them stepped off the elevator and onto the bottom deck. They stepped off and saw that the hallway to their right ended somewhere between 20 and 25 feet away from them. The hallway in front of them was a dead end, but not a regular dead end.
This is a numbered door.
Okay. We would need to get up to 11, I believe. Well, I'm pretty sure the game will give me a nudge in the right direction with that. I don't want to do math.
Yeah, it's door 2.
Immediately, they began to discuss who would go through it.
So who should go through the door this time?
Can I have a break? I'm done with going through doors.
We don't need to be discussing who we're leaving behind this time, right?
Right. It's set up so we'll be able to meet up again once we get through the numbered doors.
Then there's no need for arguments at this point.
We should figure out who's going in first.
Very well. Would anyone like to volunteer?
I'll do it.
The first to speak up was 7.
I'll go too.
Then I suppose I need to go too, then.
Junpei followed suit, which meant Lotus was, by default, the 3rd member. Great! Alright, thank you for breaking that down. Oh, or you could also do that. Interesting? Yes. I don't know why I didn't consider 20 as an option.
Alright, we're taking off.
Okay, please be careful.
Alright. I think I will actually end this one here. So, it feels like we've done basically nothing but talk, which is fine. Sometimes it's worth just talking. But, yeah, the seeds of doubt have been sown, and once you do that, there's no going back. I feel like for some people, that's been done a long, long time ago. And again, I do want to trust everyone, but it feels impossible in a situation like this. Oh, I wonder what's behind this door. I guess we'll see next time. Thank you so much for watching, as always. And I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.